Hi. Okay, today we are reading another story. This one is really cool. I cannot wait to share it with you. It is Where the Wild Things Are. This book is by Maurice Sendak. He is the author and the illustrator, so he not only wrote the story, but he drew all the pictures for it. And because he did such an amazing job doing that, he got this really cool medal over here called a Caldecott medal. So that's what you get when you are a fantastic author. So he did such a good job that he got a Caldecott medal. So we are going to read Where the Wild Things Are today. Just by opening the first cover page, there is already so much color, and it's so dramatic and vibrant and bright, and it makes me want to read this book. So when we're reading this, I want you to think about all the different things you see, all the different kinds of art he uses to create these incredible pictures in this book. Because for my kiddos, that is what you're going to need to do after you read this. I'm not making you do comprehension questions today. You're welcome. Okay, Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another, his mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines, and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And made him king of all the wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." You can see all the different creatures dancing. Swinging from trees. I think that's my favorite picture. They're even carrying him around. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all the wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then, all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars, and gnashed their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks, and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. So that was Where the Wild Things Are. This is a really great book, not only because of the story, but because of the pictures. I love all the different colors. You can see in the trees on the back here all the different shading techniques he used. The water looks realistic. Everything is so well thought out in the way he drew these pictures. The trees look like I can reach out and touch them. So I want you to think about that when you are drawing your own wild thing. Think of what that wild thing looks like. Do they have a name? Do they have really sharp claws, 2 heads, a long tail, scales? What makes them wild in how they look? And what makes them wild in what they do? You're not just a wild thing by how you look. In the book, our friend Max did a bunch of wild things. We saw him jumping down the stairs, chasing his dog. He was screaming. He was wild. He was crazy. So what makes your wild thing so wild? Think about it, draw your picture, and then write about it for me. I am so glad I got to share this book with you today. I hope you loved it as much as I do, and I can't wait to read more with you. Bye, babes!